Are you ready for real change? Do you want to become the version of yourself that you know that you can be, that can handle the hard situations, that can expand into the positive life? If so, this is going to be the episode for you because we're going to break down how to do that and start receiving as you know that you should. My name is Henry, and this is the #1 mindset podcast, the Positive Mindset Podcast, where we come together to raise our vibration, lift our perspective, and build that positive mindset. I'm so thankful to have each and every one of you here today because this is going to be a powerful message that you can apply to your life today. But before we get started, we're going to take a few moments to slow down, zero in. We're going to take some deep, healing, meditative breaths to help us align on the frequency that we want in our lives. So you can pick a word. It can be love, joy, happiness, abundance, whatever frequency you want. And we're going to take a deep breath in, and as you're breathing in, you're going to say that word over and over and over again to really charge yourself up with that energy. And then as you're holding your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you, and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. We're going to take another deep breath. This one is about alignment, about getting ourselves in receiving mode so that we can receive the message that we need to hear to get us in that positive state. So just imagine that you are surrounded by the most healing, uplifting energy that's meant specifically for you. It could have a certain color, a certain taste, a certain smell, however you imagine it. And when you breathe it in, it's going to charge you up. It's going to break down that negativity, the blocks, the weight, everything that's just been holding you back. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you, and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. And out. So I want you to think about how we start this episode. You see, the very first thing, we talk about what do you want? Who do you want to become? What changes would you like to receive? We do that with intention because we are building a vision of who we want to become. When you have a target, you know the direction you need to move. The next step, when we take that deep breath in, we are picking an alignment. But you see, a word is not just a word, and all words are not equal. You see, the word actually represents frequency. When you bring that word and its meaning within you, you are bringing the frequency that it represents. When you do that, then the frequency is within you. Think about negative self-talk, or think about an influence that speaks negatively to you. Maybe you were a kid growing up and your parents reinforced negative beliefs. They told you you weren't good enough. They told you rich people were greedy. They told you these people were bad. They told you you'd never do this. That was built within you. Or maybe you went to a school where you didn't get the nourishment that you needed. You were told not to do this. You were told to be quiet. You were told not to ask questions. Or maybe you have the talk just within you. Every time you raise your hand, that voice goes off telling you to put your hand down. Whenever you decide that you want to do something, that voice tells you it's not a good idea. Whatever it is, you can feel that negative self-talk, especially if you are dealing with depression, anxiety, any of those feelings. That voice in your head starts talking you down. But what if it wasn't the voice that mattered? What if it wasn't the person that mattered? It's the frequency that you're allowing within you. And what if all you had to do to change, like if your current experience is built upon those frequencies, is change the new frequency that is coming within you? That's why I am statements are so important. That's why your vision is so important, because your I am statements align with your vision. When you start becoming the opposite of everything we just talked about to yourself, which you have the power to be, you don't need anything external to grant you access to happiness. You don't need anything external to pave the way for you to be the higher version of yourself. You don't need anything external to create anything because it's an internal creation. The external world is a reflection as you are. That's it. It's that simple. So if you want to start building yourself up, if you want to start receiving differently, you have to become something that's different. And it's not just you physically changing, it's your perspective. You see, the frequency that's in you dictates how you see the world. The world is not as it is as you are. Remember, your perception is your reception. As you see, you will receive. So if you raise your perspective by looking for love in every situation, the better you get at, the more you'll start to receive the love frequency. It doesn't mean that you will receive all good things in the world, meaning if you just see love, if you just look at the bright side, you're going to become a millionaire, or you're going to get a new car, or you're going to get those things. That's separate. That is just manifestation. You can manifest and be the most hurtful, sad, lonely person in the world and manifest all the riches in the world. Manifestation and changing your vibration are two different things. We do them together because the goal here is to become the highest version of yourself, the version that loves the most, the version that forgives the most, the version that heals the most, and then expand abundantly so that you can expand that version of you to the world and create real positive change. That's what we do here. But it starts with your internal state. That leads to a higher perspective. A higher perspective allows you to see the love in every situation. It allows you to navigate time. Meaning, you don't just have to look at the situation as it is. You can explore it from the past, you can explore it from the future. Whatever you have to do with a high enough perspective, you can find the good that will come from any situation. When you find that love, that's what you focus on. What you focus on expands. I told a story yesterday about having to go to Walmart really late on a Friday night. It wasn't something I wanted to do. So my perspective initially was low. I was focusing on having to go to the store late at night. I was focusing on having to drive over there. And then really, it to me, felt like wasting my time when I viewed it from that perspective. But then when I sat there for a few minutes before I went in, I reflected because I knew I was in frequency I didn't want to be. And you may think that going to the store is something simple. But everything is an opportunity for you to adjust your perspective. And something simple, like getting frustrated about going to the store, is the best place to start raising your vibration. The little inconveniences, when you start practicing your I am statements, your perspective in those, that builds you up so that you can handle the big things. You can handle the housing situation. You can handle the financial situation. You can handle the health situation. It's all practice for you to grow. And so I sat there and reflected and I thought, how silly am I to be upset about this? A year and a half ago, I would have done anything to drive this exact car anywhere. I wouldn't have cared what time of night it was. I wouldn't have cared what the errand was because I desired that expansion in that vehicle. And then I got it, and a year and a half later, I get the opportunity to drive it somewhere, and I'm not even paying attention to the good. I'm focused on the negative. It's all happening for you. It's not happening for you to receive anything material. It's happening for you to grow internally. It's all a gift for you. It's all a gift for me. Your perspective sets you free. Focus on the thoughts in your mind. In my one-on-one coaching, the first thing we talk about is building the future version of you. Do you know who you want to become? If you don't, you will never become something that you're truly fulfilled with. It doesn't have to be the CEO of a big company. It doesn't have to be a famous athlete. It's a version of you that you desire to be. It could be a version that loves more. It could be a version that's healed. It could be a version that's healthy. Whatever it is, this version of you sets the target. From there, we align our mindset because we have to have the right vibration operating within us so that we can see the world as we want. When you see as you want, you receive as you desire. It's that simple. It's not easy. It takes work. And the harder your path has been to this point, the more commitment you're going to have. But week after week, as you continue to build those frequencies in you, every single day, every single night, reinforcing, connecting with your vision, it starts to become you. And as you become, you learn to enjoy the process because the process is lifting you up. When you have a higher version of you that you want to become, every inch that you move closer to that, you feel. Every time you meditate, every time you connect to it, you feel what you can become, and it charges you up. Every thought, every action that you take in alignment with that higher self charges you up. There is no better feeling than being in alignment with your most healed, most loving, most positive self. So as you do it, your perspective raises. It's simple. It's the thoughts, it's the words, it's how you speak, it's how you act, and it's how you envision. Align it. 3 steps: vision, thoughts, action. The vision is the direction. The thoughts are the power, the energy within you. And then the action is the confirmation with the universe that you do want to make this happen. You do want to receive this in the physical, and you do demand it of the universe. You are meant for something great. If you listened all the way through this episode, it's time. You can no longer allow yourself to not know. And what that means is to know and to not do is to not know. You've heard the message before. You've heard it in different ways. You've listened to other podcasts. You listened to other episodes of this, but you have to take action. If you don't take action, you don't truly know. There is no way to feel and understand what uplifting change feels like until you start to do it. There's no way to help others experience uplifting change without you experiencing it and then talking to them through that experience. This is all a journey for you. So set that perspective and become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode was impactful and gave you a positive perspective on whatever it is that you're going through. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link down below. It will keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook group all down below. So I appreciate all the follows there. And if you're listening to this episode and you're ready to make that change and you want to connect one-on-one, this is what I do. I'm a mindset coach. I have a 12-week program that does this exact thing. We're going to build that vision in the beginning. We're going to align those frequencies, those I am statements within you. We're going to make sure that each week you're doing the homework to become who you can be so that you can create that higher perspective and operate, whether it's within your business, your personal life, whatever it is, you can operate from that high frequency. Each week we build little things piece by piece. This is a program, but we design it specifically for you so it moves at your pace. If you're interested in working with me, you can reach out to me via Instagram, or there's a link down below. If you fill that out, I will personally reach out to you and we can talk about getting you on a program today. Well, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.